Are you aware of what really happened to you?
No, I'm not.
Or can you talk about
I can talk about it, but I'm not aware of what really happened to me.
Yeah.
All I know is that I went to a friend's birthday party. I gave a friend a birthday party.
Mm-hmm.
Hello.
You thought was your friend.
Well, we ain't even gonna touch on that.
Yeah.
I came home like I would.
What really happened that night? Tamar Braxton says she doesn't remember, but the receipts tell a whole different story. By the end of this video, everything you thought you knew is about to be flipped upside down. Your legal team is about to be busier than ever. Let me make this crystal clear. I'm no rookie in handling situations like this. I've spent 14 years in the trenches, facing lawsuits from some of the most formidable names out there. Don't just take my word for it, check my record. I've gone toe-to-toe in court with Sherry, Chris Stokes, XYZ Company, and even a music corporation. And here's the thing, a thinly written lawyer's letter alleging some vague rumor won't intimidate me. If the accusation is an inappropriate relationship, then Mr. Walker, you might as well save your ink. The reality? The relationship in question was far beyond inappropriate. Anyone trying to spin it as a minor misstep is grossly underestimating the situation. Standing by Tamar Braxton feels like an Olympic sport in endurance. Once again, Tamar has been caught stretching the truth. The drama started when Tamar and Funky Diva clashed publicly, leaving fans unsure who to trust. Tamar claimed she almost died, hinting that Funky played a role in the ordeal, while Funky denied everything and warned her against airing details, lest the internet reveal the real story. Naturally, Tamar couldn't resist seeking validation and public support, throwing shade at Funky to rally her audience. But Funky, ever meticulous, came armed with evidence, receipts that told a very different story. According to him, Tamar's accident wasn't a random mishap. It somehow involved Mendez, yes, Gandhi's husband. Part of the tension stemmed from Tamar's relationship with Mendez being blatantly visible around others. Funky recalls the music video shoot where Tamar sat provocatively on Mendez, their restaurant meetups, and other moments that made him uneasy. He insists that if the story is being told, it should be told in full, without sugarcoating. Just months ago, Tamar described waking up in a pool of blood, missing teeth, and with no memory of the incident or who was responsible. Naturally, speculation swirled that Funky, who had been with her the night before celebrating his birthday, might have had something to do with it. But the truth, according to Funky, paints an entirely different picture. The backlash against Funky Dinah was immediate. Social media users labeled him a woman hater and a disloyal friend. When he asked Tamar to step in and tell people to back off, she refused. Attention, good or bad, was always her currency, and in her view, there's no such thing as bad press. Funky consistently defended himself, insisting he had no knowledge of what happened that night. "I want to know what's going on," he said, and who could blame him? Tamar had gone public claiming she almost died, leaving everyone in suspense. To be clear, no one, least of all the narrator here, knows exactly what happened that night. But Tamar seemed to treat Funky like an obstacle in her spotlight, throwing subtle jabs while simultaneously confirming that something serious had occurred, serious enough to require surgery. Funky wanted to share his side, yet he wasn't the type to broadcast someone else's story. He leaves that to the nieces, as he jokes. Repeatedly, he urged Tamar to clarify publicly that he had no part in her accident. A simple statement, "Funky Diva didn't do anything to me. I was resting," would have settled the matter quickly, even at this moment. But Tamar seemed determined to test Funky's resolve, perhaps assuming he'd back down. Months after the incident had faded from public discourse, she reignited the topic during an interview on the Morning Hustle with Laurel. Tamar had a choice: stay private and let speculation run wild, or confront the lingering questions head-on. She chose the latter, revealing only fragments of her experience. When asked what truly happened, she admitted uncertainty. "I can talk about it," she said, "but I'm not aware of what really happened to me." All she could confirm was that she had attended a friend's birthday party that evening, a small detail in a larger, murky story. So, you thought Tamar's friend was really her friend? Well, let's just leave that question hanging. The story picks up as everyone expected. Tamar came home as usual, but she never directly named Funky Diva. Still, it was obvious who she was talking about. She painted him as an ungrateful friend, someone she threw a party for, only to be betrayed in return. Funky Diva wasn't the only one in Tamar's crosshairs. When questioned about her relationship with Mendes, she denied any personal connection with surprising intensity. "I barely even know him," she claimed, insisting that they weren't close and weren't homies. Yet, just a few moments later, she had him appear in a music video with her. The contradiction didn't go unnoticed. As soon as the interview aired, people warned Tamar that Funky wasn't going to take her portrayal lightly. He had made it clear, any misstep on her part would lead to a full-blown response. True to his word, Funky was ready to confront her if she so much as breathed in his direction. Funky also explained why he didn't follow Tamar upstairs when they returned to her home. By that point, she was already with a so-called friend who seemed intent on looking after her. None other than Mendes, husband of Yendandi Luther King. Funky, seeing the pair kiss in the car, chose not to intrude. He got in his own car and drove home, uncomfortable with the public display of affection happening mere feet away. Meanwhile, Mendes and Tay stayed together all night, carefully separated when cameras were around to avoid suspicion. But once the cameras stopped rolling, their closeness was undeniable. They were all over each other, right in front of Funky. Tamar claimed ignorance, saying she didn't know Mendes, yet the evidence told a different story. They made out all the way to her house and eventually became a couple, leaving Funky out of the picture. And that, my friends, is where the story takes an almost absurd twist. According to Funky, the story didn't just involve Tamar and Mendes. There was a third person in the mix, the very man Tamar claimed had found her unconscious. Funky's account suggests it wasn't a simple rescue. This unnamed individual, along with Mendes, might have played a role in whatever went wrong that night. "If anyone knows what happened to your teeth," Funky said bluntly, "it's Mendes and his friend. They were the ones who went upstairs with you." He didn't speculate on the exact circumstances, but he made it clear that if an investigation were warranted, those two were the people to question. Rumors swirled that the trio may have been involved in some kind of intimate encounter that went disastrously wrong, leaving Tamar injured. Some whispers even suggested that Mendes might have physically attacked her. At this point, only Mendes and the unnamed friend could truly confirm the events of that night.
All the way back to the very beginning. I knew this was how you was going to play it. And let's be very clear here. If y'all remember when the situation first broke and about the whole mouth stuff, and I said, and the only reason you dropped that video is because, and I said, I ain't going to do it to you. Y'all remember that? I said, and the only reason you dropped that music video real quick like this was because, and I said I ain't even gonna do it. The reason you dropped that music video as quickly as you did is because people had spotted y'all ass, okay? Inappropriate relationship. Well, you tell me, Tamar, if it's appropriate or inappropriate when we're sitting.
Now, it seems Tamar has lawyered up and issued her own statement against Funky. In her statement, she painted a picture of herself as a victim, highlighting not only the personal impact, but also the wider implications for the families involved. According to Tamar, the rumors circulating online have caused real harm, creating tension and distress for people around her. She stressed that the situation isn't just about her, it affects everyone connected to her, whether directly or indirectly. The weight of public scrutiny, she argued, has been emotionally taxing, and she warned that if the narrative continued unchecked, someone would inevitably have to take responsibility. Her statement even hinted at possible legal action, suggesting that if Funky spoke on her again, she would not hesitate to bring him to court. On the surface, Tamar's statement comes across as a defensive measure, an attempt to regain control of a story that has spiraled beyond her hands. She positions herself as wronged, a figure navigating a hostile media landscape and facing false accusations. Yet anyone who knows Funky knows that he is not a man easily intimidated. His reputation, built over years of navigating both music industry drama and personal disputes, is that of someone who stands firm in the face of public pressure. He does not shy away from confrontation, and when he perceives an injustice, he responds decisively. True to form, after Tamar's statement hit the public eye, Funky fired back almost immediately. His response was measured yet firm, making it abundantly clear that a simple press release was insufficient to scare him or silence him. This reaction, while aggressive to some, was entirely predictable for those following the saga. Funky had anticipated how Tamar would handle the situation. From the very beginning, he understood the patterns of her behavior, her reliance on public attention, her strategic management of narrative, and her tendency to frame herself as a victim when convenient. Funky's awareness of these dynamics gave him the upper hand. He approached the conflict with a calm but steadfast demeanor, a subtle mix of defiance and patience that made it clear he would not be bullied or manipulated. To truly understand the intensity of this confrontation, we need to rewind to the very beginning. Remember when the controversy first erupted around what became known in the public sphere as the mouth situation? The music video in question was released in what appeared to be a hurry, and Funky pointed out that the timing was no coincidence. The release was a reaction to the public noticing something significant, an overtly inappropriate relationship that many viewers had already spotted before the video's official debut. Funky's assertion here isn't just about calling out behavior. It's about exposing the discrepancy between Tamar's public persona and her private actions. He questioned Tamar directly, in a manner both rhetorical and confrontational. If that behavior was truly appropriate, then how can it be reconciled with the very real, very intimate moments that occurred in public settings? For example, sitting at Ruth's Chris with Mendeecees, with interactions that went far beyond casual friendship. Funky highlighted these moments not as gossip, but as evidence that the narrative Tamar presented publicly did not align with the reality that unfolded in private. It's important to note that this isn't a simple he said just said scenario. Funky has consistently demonstrated a meticulous attention to detail when recounting events. His memory of the sequence of actions, the locations, and the interactions involved is precise, reflecting someone who has lived through the situation and paid close attention to the nuances of human behavior and social cues. By documenting these moments with specificity, Funky positions himself as both credible and intentional in his defense, countering any narrative that might portray him as reactionary or vengeful. At this juncture, Tamar may very well have picked a fight she cannot win. Funky isn't afraid of legal threats or courtroom drama. In fact, he seems almost to be waiting for such a challenge. His confidence stems not from bravado, but from a combination of experience and strategic thinking. Over the years, he has navigated numerous lawsuits, public disputes, and professional rivalries, all while maintaining a reputation for being unflappable under pressure. For Funky, the legal threat is not something to fear. It's an opportunity to assert his truth and clarify public misconceptions. Moreover, looking back on Tamar's maneuvers, Funky suspects that her actions were deliberately designed to involve others in the dissemination of the story. Bloggers, YouTubers, and social media commentators were indirectly recruited, whether intentionally or not, to amplify her narrative. This strategic engagement of the public and media allowed Tamar to maintain control over the optics, positioning herself as a figure confronting adversity while casting others in a negative light. Funky, however, is not easily manipulated by such tactics. He maintains a detached awareness of the broader media ecosystem and refuses to be drawn into a narrative that he has not carefully analyzed and addressed on his own terms. Funky's calm, putting up with this BS attitude is itself a statement. It demonstrates that he is not reacting impulsively or emotionally to the accusations, but is instead handling the situation with measured poise. This composure reinforces his credibility, even as the public speculates or takes sides. Funky's approach signals a commitment to truth over theatrics, showing that his actions are deliberate rather than performative. In this context, Tamar's statement and the legal posturing behind it can be seen as a calculated attempt to maintain leverage. By issuing a formal declaration and hinting at court action, she attempts to reset the narrative in her favor, framing herself as the one under siege while positioning Funky as the aggressor. But Funky's prior understanding of her behavioral patterns allows him to see through this tactic. He recognizes that public statements, carefully crafted to evoke sympathy, are a hallmark of Tamar's approach to controversy, and he is prepared to counteract that narrative with evidence, testimony, and his own account of events. Ultimately, the clash between Tamar and Funky is not merely about personal grievances. It is about control over narrative, truth, and public perception. It highlights the intersection of celebrity culture, social media amplification, and the strategic use of legal and public channels to influence opinion. Funky's insistence on asserting his truth, despite the public pressure, underscores the importance of credibility, preparation, and strategic thinking in situations that straddle both personal and professional realms. As the story unfolds, it becomes evident that this is about more than just a lawsuit or a viral rumor. It is a study in power dynamics, public perception, and the ways in which individuals navigate complex interpersonal conflicts in highly visible environments. Funky's response demonstrates a mastery of narrative control, not through intimidation but through clarity, consistency, and an unwavering commitment to truth. In contrast, Tamar's approach, while public-facing and assertive, leaves room for scrutiny, interpretation, and questioning of her motives. In conclusion, this conflict exemplifies the modern reality of celebrity disputes, where every word, action, and public statement is scrutinized, dissected, and amplified across social platforms. Funky's preparedness, experience, and calm demeanor stand in stark contrast to Tamar's reactive, attention-driven maneuvers, creating a dramatic tension that captivates public interest. Ultimately, it raises broader questions about accountability, media influence, and the ways in which personal conflicts are played out in public arenas, offering a cautionary tale for anyone navigating fame, relationships, and reputation in the digital age. The drama extends to a specific confrontation at Ruth's Chris, where Tamar allegedly denied a conversation with Mendeecees about statements regarding Yandy, all while laughing over edits to a letter drafted in ChatGPT. Funky recalls the events vividly. Moments of inappropriate intimacy in the restaurant, discussions that seemed absurd in hindsight, and her insistence that Mendeecees was just a friend, even though everyone could see otherwise. Funky's frustration is further intensified by Tamar's history. This isn't an isolated incident. There's a pattern, a repetition of behavior that he sees as disingenuous and manipulative. In the past, Tamar has been linked to someone else's husband, first with Jermaine Depri's father and now with Mendeecees. These aren't minor social slip-ups or rumors. They reflect choices that, in Funky's eyes, reveal a disregard for boundaries and the reputations of others involved. For Funky, this history magnifies the current situation, making it harder to see Tamar's claims as purely innocent or circumstantial. Every inconsistency, every denial, every attempt to frame herself as the victim adds fuel to his frustration. Funky's response throughout this saga has been unrelenting. He doesn't just respond with emotion. He strategically exposes contradictions and calls out behaviors that appear carefully curated for public consumption. His insistence on highlighting these inconsistencies is not just about protecting his own reputation. It's about revealing a larger pattern that he believes the public deserves to understand. In his mind, this isn't about gossip or entertainment. It's about truth, accountability, and making sure that the narrative doesn't unfairly place him in a negative light while excusing repeated questionable actions on Tamar's part. In the end, Funky's message is crystal clear. Tamar has tried to position him as the villain while simultaneously engaging in behaviors that contradict the image she presents publicly. The disparity between what she claims and what appears to have happened is at the heart of his frustration, and it's what has kept him so adamant about responding, setting the record straight, and defending his version of events. Now, the story is left for the public to interpret. Social media, blogs, and commentary platforms are abuzz with speculation. Was there truly something between Tamar and Mendeecees, or is Funky's perspective accurate, capturing a reality that has been obscured by carefully managed appearances? The ambiguity fuels debate, with fans and followers dissecting every gesture, comment, and public interaction to determine where the truth lies. Ultimately, this saga highlights a broader issue about perception, accountability, and the ways personal actions are magnified in the public sphere. Funky is holding firm to what he sees as the truth, challenging the audience to think critically rather than blindly accept narratives spun for attention or self-preservation. What do you think? Was there really something going on between Tamar and Mendeecees, or is Funky simply reading the situation accurately? The floor is yours. Sound off in the comments, hit like, and subscribe for the full, unfiltered story. Until next time, baddies.